Good afternoon. After our brief break for the foil final with the excellent Henry Martin, I'm back to commentate the semi-final between Samuel Godbehere and Lucas Farlam. Samuel Godbehere being on the left, Lucas Farlam on the right. Ridley Buckeridge is our referee for today, and we have Kyle Profit and Finn McConvey once again on our VAR desk. Samuel Godbehere is our first seed for this first semi-final, with Lucas Farlam coming in at 4th seed. Wonderful day for the Epee today. There's so many competitors, so much great fencing, and this is the culmination of that. These two gentlemen leading the start of the Epee semi-finals, and Lucas Farlam with the first point there. Samuel threatening just a little bit there, testing the waters in the early stages of this match. Very nearly went for the knee hit there. And that's a double hit from the boys there. So we're still on the same points deficit. And that's another double point. Samuel Godbehere really giving it his best shot to close that gap, but seemingly running into those doubles consistently. As we continue at 3-2 to Lucas Farlam. Very nearly a point there from Samuel Godbehere and Lucas Farlam, but no hits scored as the two continue. And that's a wonderful flick there from Lucas Farlam, extending that lead to 2 points. And that's another point coming in from Farlam, leading us to 5-2. Samuel Godbehere falling behind in the Epee. 3 points separate the two. And in a weapon with such a slower pace compared to the others, 3 points really can make a massive difference, especially early on. And that's another point, but this time for Samuel Godbehere, as he closes that gap in the closing quarter of the first period. And 15 seconds remaining as the two exchange. And ooh, that is a point for Lucas Farlam, just catching Samuel as he ran past, taking us to 3-6. 10 seconds, just under 10 seconds on the clock. Defence is seemingly running down the time. And that's time on the first period. 6-3 to Lucas Farlam, our 4th seed, in the lead against our 1st seed so far. Both fencers taking their break. Lucas receiving some coaching in the corner there. Samuel seemingly not receiving the same. Seems he came independently, but I'm sure he's thinking about how he can bring back this lead. Wonderful display from the two gentlemen so far, and with how many entrants we've had in the Exeter Open for Epee this year, certainly both have worked very hard to get this point. Certainly not out of Samuel's hands. You can certainly bring it back, but we will see how things progress into the second period. And we begin again with the Epee 6-3 to Lucas Farlam. And that's a point there from Lucas Farlam, flicking the blade over the guard, taking a 7-3 lead. And that's a point for Samuel Godbehere to close that gap just a little bit. Still 3 points behind, but still a lot to play for. And that's another point going for Samuel Godbehere. Our first seed starting to close the gap as he takes 5 points. And that's a double point between the two, but the referee has decided that's no points. Perhaps prefers both points hit on the outside. And that's another point for Lucas Farlam, finding the opening there to secure his 8th point of the match. That's another point for Lucas Farlam, who has established a solid lead of 4 points. Samuel Godbehere have a lot of work to do if he wants to continue on to the final, having to score at least 4 points to secure even scoring. And again, another point there from Lucas Farlam. 11 points now, 6 point lead. The mountain gets ever bigger for Samuel Godbehere. And that's a point taken back from our first seed, Sam Godbehere. And 5 seconds left on the clock. And that's the end of the second period. 11-6 to our 4th seed, Lucas Farlam, defying the seeding to take a dominant lead over Samuel Godbehere. Question is, with the third period looming, and with a 5-point deficit, can our first seed claw back the points? This is the final period now. In theory, Samuel Godbehere only needs those 5 points to even the scoring and go into a priority minute. However, Lucas Farlam only requiring 4 to push this into the final, or to maintain the current score. If things stay as they are, Lucas Farlam will progress to the men's Epee final. So certainly still all to play for, but Lucas Farlam in a very advantageous position. Samuel Godbehere is going to have to go to him if he wants those 5 points. Epee's being pushed right to the end of the piece there. Nearly a minute gone and no change to the score. Ooh, that's a point for Lucas Farlam. The gap gets ever bigger. Samuel Godbehere not in an advantageous position at the moment. Really having to push his opponent if he wants those points. And that's a point for Samuel Godbehere, who closes the gap by 1. And that's a double point. Deficit stays the same, but Lucas Farlam 1 step closer to the magic number of 15. Samuel Godbehere not making any progress. If anything, the pressure has become ever tighter. Ooh, and that's another point from Lucas Farlam. 1 point is all he needs now to progress to the final. And that is the final point of the match. Lucas Farlam with an incredible display there against Samuel Godbehere to take that first seed. Lucas Farlam now our first seed, progressing to the final. Samuel Godbehere, an admirable performance there and a deserving third place position, but unfortunately he was not able to secure the match. Okay, thank you guys. We'll be moving on now to our second Epee semi-final, which will be Chris Hay facing off against Luke Reese. Thank you guys.